I'm what you call a social liberal and a politically I'm conservative. I mean, really conservative. I wrote this down. Let me tell you what being liberal is. According to, I think it's Wikipedia. It says, willing to respect or accept behavior, opinions different from one's own, open to new ideas. Okay? I was always taught being liberal was good, and being conservative was also good. But now they're kind of like an oxymoron. They're saying they're completely different. Let me say that again. A liberal, socially, for me, is willing to respect or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own, open to new ideas. That's exactly what I am. I was talking to a friend of mine, older gentleman. He's about 75 years old. I met him when I first came to Las Vegas. His name is Will. Really good guy, man. Hardcore Republican, conservative. Loves Trump, can't stand Biden, right? He is the epitome of a Republican, okay? And when me and him were talking, I was telling him my thoughts about the, how can I say this without getting in trouble on YouTube? About the thing that people voted on in 2020 for the 2 big seats. And I told him how I thought it was not right and the person that won shouldn't have won. And he agreed with that, right? He's like, yeah, man, you know, it was definitely not right. And I don't know if I can even say the words, but you know what I'm talking about, what happened in that election. A lot of people thought it was a screw job. So we talk all the time, and he seems to think that I'm a Republican. And so he asked me to go to a Republican dinner that they were having, some Republican whatever, and I think it was like $45 a plate or something like that. And he asked me to go, and I said, no thanks. He said, well, why not? I said, because I'm not a Republican. He goes, yes, you are. I go, why do you say that? And then he started listing of all the things that I agree with him with. And I go, that's true. I said, but I don't pin myself to one party, unless it's the Libertarian Party, and I'll get to that in a second. And then he argued with me about it. He basically told me I am a Republican because the way I think and all that. And I said, look, man, I'm the type of guy, I just look for the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. All right? I don't look for one-sided arguments. If I see something, I call it like I see it. So then I went on a tirade or a little rant about the Republicans. And basically what I told him was, now, when I talk about Republicans, I'm not talking about the basic or the people like us. I don't knock them because we're brainwashed. If your dad and mom was a Republican, you're probably a Republican too. If your parents were a Christian or Buddhist or Muslim or whatever, you're probably that too. So I don't knock anybody for that. But basically what I told him was I don't watch Fox News. I've seen it before. Sean Hannity is so biased, it doesn't even make any sense. Sucker Carlson, that's what I call him. Sucker Carlson is a troll. Laura Ingraham and that Fab Five thing they have on there and all this other stuff. A lot of the stuff they say is true. They don't lie a lot. They do lie, and they definitely have an agenda. But mainly what they do is just make fun of the Democrats, especially Sucker Carlson. And Sean Hannity, you know, he loves some Donald Trump. Donald Trump can't do anything wrong. So I told him all that, and he was just so flabbergasted. He thought I listened to them, and those are his heroes. And the Republican Party, as far as the politicians, those guys, you know. And I told him, I said, Will, those guys don't give a shit about you. They're there to line their pockets. I go, look, man. I told him what I am. I'm socially liberal, and I'm politically conservative. I'm a conservative, and I want smaller government. Well, I want small government too, and I'm conservative. I said, really? I said, did you realize Donald Trump? Now, there's different estimations about this, and I'm not knocking Donald Trump. I like Donald Trump as a guy, as a person. I think he did a okay job as a president. Not nearly as good as Ron Paul would have did, and I'll get into that in a second. But Donald Trump printed out, and I've heard from 20% the lowest number I've heard, all the way up to 40%, the highest number I've heard, of the entire monetary supply in America since 1913, since the Fed, in 1 year. And of course, Biden is continuing to do that even more. But at the end of the day, Trump signed off on that. All right. And then also I told him that we had a lot of government shutdowns in 2020. Oh, it was because of the scamdemic. I mean, that happened regardless. I'm not saying it's wrong or right. It just happened. You know, a lot of government intervention that I don't like. You know what I mean? I like Donald Trump. I think he did a decent job. He's doing a lot better job than Biden. But if I had my vote, I'm voting for a libertarian or a constitutionalist, because that's what I am. Somebody that goes by the Constitution. You know, and what happened on January 6th at that building there, it was unfortunate. You know, a couple of people died and everything else, and what also happened in 2020 with all the riots, and it's all about divide and conquer, guys. And I'm not with it. I'm not with that. Like I said in the socially liberal definition, it's willing to respect or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own. Open to new ideas. Democrats and Republicans are neither one of those, guys. So when you hear the word liberal, you think about a Democrat. They're nothing close to being liberal. All they do is bash Trump when he was in office. They don't hold Biden accountable. And Fox does the same thing. They don't hold Trump accountable when he messes up because he wasn't perfect, you know. And just because because the Democrats wanted 2.8 trillion printed and you only printed out 2.4 trillion, printed out that much, that doesn't make you fiscally conservative. Okay? You're not conservative. You're a real conservative, like Ron Paul, like he says this out loud. Donald Trump will never say this. He'll say, when you print money, you're devaluing our currency and you're causing inflation to go up, and gold and silver is the real money. You ever think you hear a Republican say that? Do you think you can go to Fox News and they're going to tell you, hey, silver's on a discount, go buy it? No, they won't. Now, are they better than Democrats as far as I'm concerned with my ideas? Yes, they are a little better. I'm not going to lie. But both sides are full of shit, if you ask me. And that's just my opinion, you know? So that's why Jerry is not a Democrat or Republican. I'm not with the Bloods and the Crips on the big scale. That's what I call them, the Bloods and the Crips. I tell all my friends know that's what I call them. The reason why I choose the Libertarian Party, if I choose a party, period, because everything that I believe in, they stand for. And they don't just walk it, they don't just talk it, they walk the walk. You know what I mean? Rand Paul, guys that are in the Libertarian Party that say they are, they actually tell the truth. And that's what party I'm in. I'm in the truth party. You look for the truth. I don't care who you are. Nobody's perfect. I mess up. Everybody messes up. But if you listen to CNN, Donald Trump is the most evilest, racist guy you ever meet. By the way, where's he racist? I'm not saying he is or not, but I need proof of that. You know, I'm a black man in America, and I have a lot of white friends. And if any of my black friends call one of my white friends racist, I'm like, bro, you got to prove that, man. You got to go through me first before you get to him. And, oh, you're an Uncle Tom that's protecting that white guy. No, that's just a very bad thing to say. You want somebody to call you a rapist if you're not? No. Those two R words are really bad. You can't stigmatize people with those. Just because he didn't say or do something you didn't like, you can't call that man a racist. And they did that with Donald Trump for 4 years. They put they did the Mueller report with the Russian thing for no reason. You know, CNN pushed that. The Democrats pushed that. Are they doing it with Biden, with China? No. But, of course, Fox News will tell you they're in bed with China and everything else. I don't know if he is or not. And I don't know if President Trump was with Russia. I don't know. But what I do know, they're all full of shit. That's what I do know. And that's why, guys, I am socially liberal. And I'm really politically conservative, fiscally conservative, because I don't want them printing money. But the problem is when Trump was in office and he was printing all that cash up and putting it on the screen and everything, I never heard him say, listen, instead of printing out all this cash, how about we give everybody tax-free? You know, don't tax anybody for the next 3 to 5 years. Or hand out everybody, you know, silver and gold and then let them keep that as real money. They won't tell you that. You know, they'll just bash the Democrats and the Democrats will bash the Republicans and so on and so forth. And when we call each other the United States, we call this country the United States, there's nothing united about us. Everything is about division. The state lines divide the states. Political views divide the states. Political beliefs, social beliefs divide us. There's nothing united about us. And a guy like Ron Paul or Rand Paul, and I know he's a Republican, but Rand Paul is definitely a libertarian, and you guys know that. He's a constitutionalist. He believes in the Constitution. And Mike Pence on January 6th, he had his right. He had the right to do what he needed to do. Either way, he could either stood up for Trump and pulled that